Hello, everyone. I am only here for a short time, but I do wish to say hello, and we'll see if I get any viewers. Anyway, I'm here today, and we're here in my apartment talking, and I just had some delicious pie. Mmm, pie. I get viewers, says Russell. Hello, Russell. It's funny because YouTube tells me I have 0 viewers, but then I get some response. It's very strange. Pie is good, I agree, Russell. But now I'm just relaxing and thought I'd get on YouTube and say hello to people, and it's quite the uneventful day for Skeletor, but hopefully some things will happen and we'll get to talking. Your screen says I have 6 viewers. Hello, Dr. Blaster. It's funny, my screen says I have 2. But that's okay. 6 I'll take. Hello, all 6 people viewing. I am Skeletor. Please ignore that noise. It was just my phone. Yes, I do have a phone, but I'm not going to use it right now. Just here, relaxing with a good pipe, and I don't actually have anything in the pipe, but it's nice to smoke it anyway. Finobi says I bet it was candy, which is a reference, hilarious, I have to say, a hilarious reference back to the Skeletor Show episode 1, you may all remember, when I blasted that idiot swamp guy into the pond. And he said his hilarious catchphrase, I bet it was candy, that is now beloved by millions. And we had him use it in all the subsequent episodes. At some point, of course, there was the time that I was getting the eggs from the bird and, or whatever it was, a dragon bird thing. And he said, I bet it was candy, and we had a great audience reaction to that. It was a puppy pie. Yes, Captain Palms. I do like a puppy pie. I also like a coconut cream pie. I would like to do more episodes of the Skeletor Show, but I'm still waiting on the lawyers for that one. They sued us for the last one, you know. And that's why I'm broke and living this apartment and having my phone go off in the background. Oh, I didn't plan this out very well. I should have put my phone on silent. Well. But, anyway, it's good to be here. I'm glad I'm here. And, I'm glad that you're here. Because you make this show what it is, you the audience. And all handful of you watching make this show what it is. What do you mean I'm not Skeletor? What do you mean I'm not Skeletor, DBNX1701? I'm absolutely Skeletor. Who else would I be? Anyway, yeah, I have a hard time with the lawyers, but we'll see. There might be some new episodes on the horizon. I have to get the cast back together. I don't know what happened to Beastman. I lost touch with him a few years ago. I hope he's doing okay. I know Swamp Guy's doing real badly. He's living out of his car. He's probably desperate for work at this point. I want to know why DBNX1701 thinks I am not Skeletor. What makes you think I am not Skeletor? I played Skeletor for years in the 80s, and let me tell you, it was a hard job getting beaten by He-Man all the time, but I did it. I did it, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of my body of work, and yes, I never did get to rule Eternia, and TBNX 1701 says he's calling them majestic owls and they're coming after me. Well, that is a threat. I don't really have a sword or a giant panther to protect myself from owls, so I'm going to have to look out for that. DBNX says, I don't think that's Snake Mountain behind you. You're right. It's not Snake Mountain. I lost the lease on that back in '92, and I had to move into this one bedroom. But it's a nice one bedroom. I mean, it's not one of those efficiencies with the kitchen next to the bathroom and all that. It's a nice one bedroom. Hey, fezzes are cool. Anyway, I don't like people making fun of my fez. It makes me angry, and if I get too angry, well, there's not anything that will happen, but it, you don't want me to get angry for reasons. For reasons. I have good ones. Dr. Blaster says kids today don't know what's cool anymore, and I have to agree because I was the coolest back then. Everybody wanted my toys, and I had legions of fans, even though I always kept losing. Fine Boy asks if I've seen Klaus lately. I have not, but Klaus is running cabaret in Los Angeles and is doing very well. It's a drag show, and Klaus is right at home there. It's his element. Do I use Bravo on my floors? I do not use Bravo, but I hear there is a very angry man that insists I do. The thing is, it's a floor wax, and I have wall-to-wall carpeting in this one-bedroom apartment. So I don't really have any place for Bravo. Suppose I could try it on the walls, but it's not a wall wax; it's a floor wax. And I don't know that the superintendent here would be too happy with me using a floor wax on the walls. I think it's a bad idea. Hmm. No, I don't have the cat anymore. Dr. Blaster says, good thing I don't have the cat anymore. It wouldn't fit in here, and it wasn't ever litter box trained, which was not a problem when you have a giant castle. It can go poop in some room that you never go in. But when you have this apartment, and you only have so much room, it doesn't work. So it had to go live in a farm upstate, if you know what I mean. But I still have a battle cat in my heart, and I will always have that. There seems to be an argument in the live chat, but I I encourage arguments, actually. They're more evil. Has Beastman tried to come over yet? Asked Russell. No, I don't know where he is. I hear he moved to some small Indiana town where he's working somewhere doing something. I don't know. That's what I was told. Anyway. Now, let's see. Do we have any other questions? Well, I can just sit here and talk. I suppose that's what's expected of you on a live stream, that you sit there and talk about something. I don't really know what's going on in the world today. I don't really follow the news much. I don't know. I found out who. But let's see. DBNX says, how about instead of giving the old gang together, you get some new characters together? I could totally see you teaming up with Donald Trump. Come on, I'm not going to slum it. I have standards here. Finobi asks if I've seen my Lego version. I have not. I did not know that there was a Lego me. I hope I get a residual check for that. Will Skeletor make America great again? Asks Russell. I will never make America great. I would like to make America worse. I think that making America worse would be in line with my evil goals, which I still have. There's just been a little setback. Skeletor for king, says Russell. That's better than Skeletor for president, as Daniel Explosion suggests. King is what I'm aiming for. First I have to get a castle back, and I need maybe to get my sword back, and some minions, and a few things like that. But the Snake Mountain Castle, I didn't like it much anyway. It was windy and drafty, and it's much cozier here. Let's see. DBNX says, I have a question. Skeletor, do you get together with Megatron or Cobra Commander and talk about the old days? You know, those guys are jerks, and I don't talk to them. All they want to talk about all the time when we get together is how much they want to destroy their various, Megatron, I must destroy the Autobots. Cobra Commander, oh, I must destroy G.I. Joe. Come on, guys. It's 2017. You're not going to destroy anybody. You're probably just going to, I don't know, work with the administration and, you'd get a job as secretary of the cheese or whatever they have secretaries of, and I forgot what I was talking about because of cheese. Cheese. What are my plans for the new year, Skeletor? Asked Russell. I plan to take over a planet, maybe Eternia, maybe Earth, but first I gotta get a job. So I'm living off Geico residual checks right now. Skeletor versus Voldemort, who wins? Well, let's see. Neither of us have noses, so we're both winning in the looks department. But I'd say I win because I'm superior in every way to him. I have many more muscles. I had my own giant cat. He's never had a giant cat. Let's see. Marrow asks, was that you dancing in the commercials online or a stunt double? And if it's you, can we see your sweet dance moves? You can't see my sweet dance moves because I threw out my back last week, but I guarantee you I do all my own stunts. You have never seen a stunt double for Skeletor because I have integrity. I have I have a lot of I Mr. Corium says my voice sounds awful and they're going to get me some cough syrup. It's not going to help. As some of you who've watched the Skeletor show know, my voice sounds this because I finally had things down there descend, and it's much better in the genitalia department. Dr. Gull asks if I'm going to watch the Django Reinhardt biopic. I don't know, but I do like his music. DBNX says, you know, it is a good question still at work. Did you really save 15% on your insurance with Geico? I can't afford any insurance right now, and I don't have a car. So Geico is not much of a help to me, but I did the commercial to help others because that's really what I'm all about. Evil and helping others. National Skeletor Day, says Russell. I could see that. I could definitely see a National Skeletor Day. In fact, I'd say it's about time. It's about time we have that. The Marquis asked, do you like nature documentaries? How do you feel about majestic animals? I feel that all animals should be eaten by me. I'm willing to try pretty much any animal as food. I do like babies as well, but puppies, kitties, bunnies, especially the cute ones. Those are the most delicious ones. Remember that time, says Russell, that you helped those kids on Christmas. I wouldn't say I helped them. They were little racists. I don't know what was wrong with that. The boy, the girl didn't really say anything, but the boy was such a racist. Dr. Blaster says I should do my own cooking show. I do make a mean macaroni and cheese. It's delicious. It's not as delicious as a puppy, but it's only like $1 a box. Marrow asks, how do you feel about this wave of second-rate villains coming out and doing hero movies? That's a good question. I always thought that I would make a good hero, but they would never let me be a hero because I'm so evil. So I never got to be in that hero position. But if I got the call these days, I'd be a hero for money. It'd have to be, a decent amount of money. If Skeletor doesn't come cheap, well, Skeletor comes cheap these days. Unfortunately. Oh, God. Oh, it's Conrad Eklund. I've talked to him before. Good morning. The reason why there is no audio on a certain episode of the Skeletor show is because of the Django Reinhardt music. Apparently, we weren't allowed to use it. Mr. Corium asks if you had to either fuck a goat but nobody would ever know, or not fuck a goat but everyone would unendingly believe that you fucked a goat, which would you do? Oh, that's a good question. I is there a third option where there's no goat sex? Because I would pick the no goat sex option. Uh, but you know, on the other hand, I've never tried it, and there might be some attractive goats out there that are single. Uh, I've certainly gone out with giant monsters and had a good time with them. So I don't know. I'd have to date the goat a few times first to see if we were compatible. I wouldn't want to rush things. Daniel Explosion says that if he ever won the Powerball jackpot, he'd buy me a castle. Well, thank you very much, Daniel. I think I deserve a castle. In fact, I think you could all get together and pool your money and get me a castle. DBNX said, Skeletor, I had a brilliant idea. I heard that the Castle Grayskull that was used in the remake of Masters of the Universe is sitting vacant. I don't know. If it's sitting vacant, it has nothing to do with me. Look, I have an apartment already. You know, anyway, that sorceress would never leave the castle alone. I don't believe that for a second. I'm sure she's there somewhere lurking. Have they checked all the rooms? Because there's a lot of rooms in that castle. She's in there. How Bjorn is. We haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, we haven't seen Bjorn in a long time. I don't know. And Bolio asks if I want to do a radio sweeper for him, and I have no idea what that is, so I'm going to have to say, yes, I want to do it, as soon as you tell me what it is. Daniel Explosion thinks the castle should have a torture dungeon. I think the castle should have torture Why does it have to be in the dungeon? Why can't we have a torture penthouse? I think it'd be nice to have a pretty view while you're torturing someone. No, the sorceress is not a squatter now. The sorceress owns that castle. I mean, yes, I was trying to take it from her back in the 80s, but I mean, it was her castle. She owns the land it's on, and it's up to her. Oh, okay. This is Skeletor, and you are listening to Bolio on 1025 KISS FM. LMER2S2N asks, Good morning, Mr. Skeletor. Do you own a smartphone, and if so, do you have any neck vertebrae issues? Yes, I do own a smartphone, and I do have neck vertebrae issues, namely that my neck is just vertebrae and no muscle or skin. That's... King Adam was not born in Eternia. Well, I don't know where he was born, but he was... Wait a minute, King Adam? When did he become king? He was a prince when I knew him. Yeah, that's right. As Dr. Gull points out, the king was Jerry King Randor, and I don't know what he's doing these days. I assume he's still king of Eternia. I haven't been out to Eternia in a few years, but the guy was king back then. I suppose he's king now. Daniel Explosion says, I always have a question. How badly did She-Ra get around? Oh, she got around, let me tell... No, I don't know. They don't let me hang out with the good guys, you know. They wouldn't let me be part of their clique, or whatever they called it. And so, if She-Ra got around, it certainly wasn't with old Skeletor, let me tell you that. Yeah. She-Ra might have gotten around with Adam, although he was her cousin. That'd be kind of icky. And, you never know what Beastman did. He was always a hit with the ladies, so it wouldn't shock me. But They didn't even let me talk to her. They said, oh, it's another show. Uh, Baseline Synergy asks if I use bone polish. I do not. I use Dr. Benway's bone wax, and it gives me a nice yellow sheen. I have a lifetime supply. Do you still have a feud with that what's-his-name, the leader of the Horde? I believe you mean Hordak. And yes, I still have a feud with him. I'll always have a feud with him. He's a jerk. How is Beastman? Well, as I said earlier, I don't know where Beastman is. I hear he moved to a small town in Indiana, but that's all I know about him. He stopped talking to me a long time ago. I don't know why. I mean, I did everything to keep that friendship going. I called him on the phone, and I asked him to help me move, and well, that was about it. But still, you know, he was a friend, and now he's not. How is Senor Babyhead these days? Asked Bolio. Senor Babyhead owned the castle that I leased a while ago, and he was a good landlord, but he was just charging too much. I couldn't afford it, so I had to move into this apartment. Does Triclops still try to bug you? Do you mean the eye guy? He was weird, wasn't he, the eye guy? He was always shouting. I don't know what was up with him. Isn't Trapjaw running for Senate in Alabama? Possibly. I hear they like a lot of things in German down there, and he is a baron. I don't know. He has his own barony, so he probably is happy doing that. Daniel Explosion is really high. That does explain a few things. But I don't think I could kidnap Beastman. He's bigger than me, and I wouldn't know where to put him in here. I don't have a lot of room. All the memorabilia takes up a lot of space. I have to leave the wall behind me clear, though, because the neighbors are doing something. I don't know what, but they keep banging into the wall, and it makes all the pictures fall off. And so I gotta keep that wall clear. But it's nicely painted. Do I consider the robot chicken sketches with me flattering? Asked Marrow. Yes, I do. I think they're very flattering. I'm incredibly fat. Phil Smith said I got my voice back. I did get my voice back. It wasn't a cold. It was a personal medical problem involving things in the nether regions coming and going. Do you watch Rick and Morty? I don't even have a TV, man. I've got nothing in here but boxes and boxes of action figures. And too many of those have water damage from the last castle. That's one of the problems with living in castles, you know, they're damp. And you get all this water damage on your memorabilia that you're planning to sell on eBay. And you're going to think you're going to make a whole lot of money on eBay with action figures. And you have all of these battle-damaged Skeletor action figures in their original boxes. But no, they get all wet, and then they're worth nothing. They're worth bupkis. So, what else is going on? I don't know. I don't really follow the news or anything. But you guys could tell me stuff that's going on, and I could tell you stuff that's going on with me because I have a very, very busy life. My life is nothing but busyness. Jason Hall says, "Hi, Skeletor. Have you ever had a run-in with the Dino Saucers?" I have met those guys on the set. They were on the set next to ours, and they seemed like decent guys, but they were always flying around, so I didn't get to talk to them much. Can you do me a favor and zap Zorak? I don't know who, oh, I think you're getting shows mixed up because there's no Zorak in my show. He's a completely different show. Yes. Why are you all talking about Zorak? I don't understand. It's like you people think I'm Space Ghost. I'm not Space Ghost. Do I look like Space? I mean, if he took off the mask, he still wouldn't look like me. The Marquis asks, "What about Thundar the Barbarian? Have you met him? I think he's just a rip-off of Star Wars. You know, the thing about Thundar is he's always yelling. Everything he says he yells. I am Thundar! Come here! I am enjoying this party! The canapes are delicious!" And it's all yelling. It gets on your nerves after a while. If you had the chance to bang She-Ra, would you? Asked Russell. No, she's not really my type. I prefer them with less skin. Have you thought of doing some cameos in new shows? Asked Dr. Blaster. I'd do them if they let me. I mean, it's not like my acting resume couldn't use some padding, is what I'm saying. But you never hear from your agent, and after a while you stop expecting to get the cameos. But you might remember that special episode of Different Strokes that I appeared in. I'm very proud of my work there. It was a special, very special episode where Arnold learns not to do drugs, and I had an appearance there as the drug dealer, and it was a proud day for me. I got the Nancy Reagan Award for just saying no. Well, I didn't say no because I was the drug dealer, but they gave me the award anyway. I think they were a little mixed up. Now, DBNX 1701. Space Ghost is not a talking skeleton. He's just not. He's a man in a Space Ghost costume, whereas I am not wearing a costume. I am what you see before you. So, what is it with you people and drugs? Doing coke with Space Ghost. He probably gets his stuff from Flash Gordon, says Daniel Explosion. Oh, here's so Macho Hervey. Do you get anything from the Masters of the Universe DVD sales, toys, etc.? I don't. I had a bad deal with my agent back then, and so they actually paid me in action figures. And so I don't have any money, and then those action figures got water damaged, and now all I can do with my savings of action figures is look at the waterlogged boxes and get mad about the whole thing. DBNX 1701 says, "Wait a minute, I thought you did a cameo on Law and Order. Weren't you that decomposed skeleton I dug up?" That's right, you have a good eye. You saw me on that episode. I did do that, and it was a lot of fun. I'd do it again. Which is the best, Freeze Ray or Shrink Ray? Asked Phil Smith. I do enjoy a good Freeze Ray, I have to say. Encasing somebody in ice is a lot of fun. With shrink ray, you just stop seeing them, they get small. Now, the Marquis seems to think I'm Jack Skellington. I am not Jack Skellington. He's white. I think that's very racist of you. I'm clearly a yellow skeleton. Oh, DB and X meant we're both dead and he's a space ghost and I'm a talking skeleton. Oh, that does make sense, but I'm still not Space Ghost. And I don't know his crew. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a scheduled live stream sometime in the near future and do that in the evening. And that will be hopefully watched by more people. But I hope all of you can make it as well. Any tips for getting rid of a body? Asked Marrow. No, I still have a body. Does Skeletor support the wage gap? Asked Russell. What's a wage gap? I don't know what that is. Is it when you get paid a little bit and then they wait and then they pay you a little more? Is that a wage gap? The wait in between? I'm not wise to these things. I'm just a skeleton man. What, Phil Smith asked, would I say was my favorite evil deed? Oh, there's so many evil deeds. I think probably it was when I found Cringer, He-Man's pet cat, and I stuck him in a pit full of spikes and then had cockroaches eat his face. And that's why you don't see him anymore. Well, that's my phone going off again. I really should have turned it off before I did this. Was the He-Man's Thundercats comic, asked Jason Hull, DC put out last year, based on real events? Now, I haven't read it, but does it have the time that me and Mum Ra got really drunk and spent all night watching Gilmore Girls and crying? Because that was not something I was supposed to talk about. Oops. DBNX wants to know whether or not Orko is gay, and I have to say that, according to him, he's not gay. Is osteoarthritis, says LMER2S223N5. I have a long username. Anyway, is osteoarthritis your biggest feared disease? I would have trouble with that if I wasn't basically a magically animated skeleton with muscles. But because I have this sort of magical undeadness about me, I don't have to worry about arthritis or other problems like that. I'm actually pretty healthy for a skeleton. Well, folks, I think I'm going to have to wrap this up as it was just a test. But as I said, I'm going to do a scheduled long live stream coming up very soon. And I hope you will join me for that. Thank you very much.